Okay. Hello and welcome in, everyone. My name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, we are back at Table Saw Kun once again to continue working on the drill press stand. So, last time on the channel, we did the main body of the what most actual professional woodworkers, which I am not, would call the carcass, which is basically the big boxy part. We made the big boxy part. However, though, to this big box, we have to add a series of smaller boxes, and that is going to be today's challenge. And the goal for today is to make what is called the drawers, the boxes that go into the box, because woodworking is just making boxes. Hello, welcome in. Today is going to just be more of me continually suffering is my envisions, because I'm really low energy and I'm really tired of fixing ACs. But I hope you're doing well. So we gotta make the drawers. Now, I have spent a fair bit of time today working on getting my parts cut and dimensioned. So I have those pieces ready. Now, these build plans call for a couple different ways to do the drawers. Like, in the pictograms for the drawers, they're like, hey, you can do this cool thing called dovetails, and no, I'm not good enough yet to be hand cutting dovetails, especially that many dovetails. Now, there's easier ways of doing dovetails, but a lot of that involves using a router table. I know is a very common means of doing that, and that's a means I don't have access to. So we're going to be using rabbets to bring the drawers together, which in this view, we've got a rabbet on, I think it's just, yeah, because we just got rabbets on both what are essentially the piece closest to us and the one furthest away, whereas the sides don't get rabbits. So we're gonna have to cut rabbits on all of those with the dado stack. And as you can see, there's no dado stack. So that's actually gonna be step one for today. And before we get into that step, I'd like to share a dumb piece of merch I bought over the weekend. So I went to go see a local cultural icon here in the state of Kentucky, which is Cocaine Bear. And basically in like the touristy area where he is, they had this coaster, and I was just like, well, this is way too me. Also, this is athletics. This is an athletic beer. So it's non-alcohol because, well, we're playing with dangerous tools. We're playing with dangerous tools, and you do not want to be mixing alcohol with the dangerous tools. Especially when, what's more dangerous than one blade in your table saw? Multiple blades in your table saw. Which is what we're going to be doing. And this is also going to bring me to my biggest piece of advice for anyone out there. Just because you have a 10-inch table saw does not mean you need 10 inches of dado stack, which this is a thing I'm still kicking my butt over purchasing, because I could have bought an 8-inch dado stack and it would get the job done. But I am not smart. So I have 10 inches of dado stack. And let's see, wrench, find your spot. There's my spot. Uh-oh. Turning the wrenches the wrong way. Yay! I I like it when I am able to loosen the nut without doing so in a way that hurts my hands when they fly past the table saw blade quickly. Because guess what? I've hurt my hands doing that. Hopefully we can keep today injury-free. That's the game plan. No injuries. No injuries is the best number of injuries. So, there's our arbor nut. Well, our nut plus our arbor nut. And look, it is a beautiful, basic blade. I need one of you to make fun of me for having that blade actually in there. Because I do have a nice Diablo blade for the table saw. But as long as that crappy DeWalt blade has life in it, I cannot bring myself to actually use a quote-unquote good blade. So, dado stacks. They're called dado stacks because it's basically a big stack. You get 2 big saw blades, and then you also have pieces that will go in between. And then for me, I always reference instructions because this is literally the most terrifying. This is easily one of the more terrifying tools I own. It is really up there with angle grinder. So, but the biggest reason I keep the instructions with me is for the chart. Nothing wrong with using up what you got. I'd say the Diablo can stay a backup. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where it stands now. Or if I actually get like nicer materials. I mean, hey, the materials I'm cutting here right now, this is nominally 3/4 construction grade pine wood. The DeWalt blade is fine for this material. If I was actually building this out of actual Baltic birch plywood, I would probably upgrade to the Diablo blade, and that will be worth it at that point. Now, the biggest thing I gotta remember is the biggest thing I always keep forgetting is where my, because I use 2 of the shims when I'm setting it up. Well, yeah, like, use the appropriate tool for the appropriate material. I mean, nice material, you probably want to use a nicer tool for. Lower grade material can use it's fine. Who cares if this material gets a hair bit of chip out? Like, it doesn't matter. Actually, wait a second. Oh, wait, that's why I like these shims. The shims tell me where to put them. Which I do appreciate that. I really actually appreciate that. So remember, cutting teeth come facing towards you. Actually, is there directionality with these? Yeah, there actually is. So that's going to be our first blade going in there. And then we put our first shim. And then we can actually start building the stack of the dado stack. So, we'll be doing a 3/4 cut. So, the 3/4 cut will get 4 of these 1/8 chippers. Now, one of the weird things of this project has been that my dimensions have called... My plans call for actual 3/4 material. My material is 3/4 nominally, which has been the... Well, this has made this project more interesting than it has any right to be. So, since I cut the dados for the dados and rabbits for the carcass at 3/4, I'm honestly just going to keep cutting everything 3/4, even though technically it makes things a little bit loose for me. But it's going to just, like, loose in terms of how everything fits, because And I wish I actually had an example, but I am lacking an example right now. But I want the rabbits to be... Ideally, the rabbits and dados would be the same thickness as the material. My material is going to be slightly smaller. And I suppose I could substitute one of the 1/8 with 1/16 to... I think the problem is everything is being done in fractions, but I know in terms of the actual dimensions of my plywood, it is 0.7 inches thick versus 3/4. And 0.7 and 3/4 are two different things by a 20th of an inch. Typically most woodworking projects go down to a 16th, not a 20th, and it just makes things weird and awkward. And I feel it's like, like I know there's some people that don't like fractions. I do not like fractions that don't line up with the fractions that I'm working. Well, the fractions I have now. And I have to play the game of least common denominator. Least common denominator is way too much work. Which is why the metric system is best system. Granted, actually... Ooh, wait a second. That's an idea. Because we're about to celebrate Freedom Day. In 2 more days, we get to celebrate Freedom Day. And it would be fun during Freedom Day to be like, here's my dissertation on the merits of the metric system. Like, gosh, was that actually one of the... I need to actually re-look back into my history a little bit, because I want to say America going to metric was actually something that was pushed for back in the Nixon administration. That's where my flat sides are. Because the Arbor nut has flat sides on it. There we go. Nixon was a weird president. He was a really weird president in all sorts of ways. Like, rather than like there's like what most people think is weird of Nixon, and then there's actually like actual interesting things that Nixon was gonna do. Like, we could have actually gotten universal health care if Watergate did not happen. And now remember, when you're turning your wrenches, always have a backup wrench so the thing doesn't spin. And in case you guys don't know, I suck at wrenches. I really suck at wrenches. Which, pretty sure my coworkers are just like, damn it, Sugi, stop being bad at wrenches. So once you can kind of get things where it feels reasonably tight, you're generally reasonably good. So that's the dado stack setup. Which, fun fact, I'm gonna have to actually redo that, because I need to cut 1/4 rabbits later on. So we're gonna, if it makes you feel better, I almost destroyed my arbor the first time because I didn't realize it was left-handed thread. Oh. See? There needs to be more support for guys who are just like, oh, I'm just gonna run the thing and I'm just gonna like send it, and then it's like, oh wait, this is a bad send it. Hey, I almost screwed this table saw up because of this dado stack. And how I almost messed up the table saw is there's a piece of plastic buried down in here that's part of the dust collection setup. And the dado stack originally was sitting on that piece of plastic, so when I hit the go button on the table saw, the motor made very angry motor noises. Which, also, by the way, I don't think I should... I don't think I should have to say that, but whenever you play with the Arbor, whenever you're sticking your hands in here, always make sure you have power disconnected. Oh no. Table saw. Table saw was fine. But table saw very briefly made very angry noises. So yeah, there we go. Dado stack with the Dado guard. That has been strategically modified because it was meant for an 8-inch Dado stack and not a 10. And I really didn't even realize what I did until that's a whole story. But I need scrap lumber. I have piece lumber, but I don't have scrap. Oh, there we go. There we go. What? So, when it comes to dialing in the height, because I know my dimension this way, I now have to set my vertical dimension. So, I have a piece of scrap lumber here. And I'm just going to slowly bring my blade up. And actually, let's get extra. Let's get extra. Here's yours. So I'm going to try and be a little bit extra today. So we're going to bring this down to... I'm going to bring it just a hair bit past 3/4. Yeah, that should be fine. So, with that there, that should be reasonably close. So, let's grab various means of safety. And let's go ahead and do a test cut. Remember, this is why we keep scraps. Sacrifice the scraps. And then once we know we have the proper depth set, then we can actually start working with our project pieces. And now, this is one of my favorite parts of putting in the Dado stack, is I will essentially just fire the saw and let it run for like about a couple of seconds to make sure nothing weird's happening. And then if I don't hear any weird sounds and it seems like everything down here is working as it should, then I will go through and do the test cut. So, whenever you cut cedar, kids, remember, cedar will chip something terrible on you. So, that's our depth there. Let's grab this guy. And looks like we have a slight gap. There we go. So, we could raise it up, but I do also like, I just have it. So, I actually picked up this metal ruler at an estate sale for $1, and I do like using it for stuff like this, so. Even though, for you guys, the tick marks are probably very hard to see, I can see the tick marks if I shove the dang thing in my face, so. My blade is a touch low, so I need to bring it a touch up. And then we'll do another test on the cedar block. And if everything's good, we'll set up. Okay, so that raised it up a little bit. Oh, that should be really close. I'm gonna slip that curve. It's raising the block a hair. Okay. I think that's reasonably close. It's enough to try. So let's try one more. Scary blades have stopped spinning. Yay. Okay. So we'll come to this. And we are indeed a touch lower. Which is what we want. We wanted it to be a touch lower. And there, our gap. It looks like we still have a gap, but I think the gap's real small at this point. If we have a gap, like at this point, if we're off by like a 1/16 of an inch, which, considering I don't actually have actual 3/4 material, I think this is enough. Actually, wait a second. There's another way. There is another way. And that other way, actually, you gotta make sure you don't have any side material. You wanna just take that. So, we have that gap down there. But if this lip here did not exist, I think we're like really dang close. So if we just do it on the edge like that, really close. I think we actually need to come a touch up, so... I think that will actually do it. Which... probably should have said it this way. So, let's just do a third cut. This time we'll do it from the other side. Okay. Well, once again, cedar likes to just shatter. It's like the biggest downfall of using cedar as a material is it will just shatter on you. Which holy smokes, I'm kind of glad I did a test cut there. That's the chipping you were talking about. Yes. Yes, that's the chipping I'm talking about. Like, cedar will just shatter on you. But the thing is, we're really close to end grain. And there's really just not a lot holding this stuff, so yeah, it'll just break. And it will break like glass. Is how it will break. Oh dear. But, actually, wait a second, that looked excessive. But this is actually like... that's like perfect 3/4 though. And I was actually hoping to not have that. Actually, wait a second. Where's my material? Material! Come here. But yeah. So if we... so it's a little bit thick, just a hair touch too big, but we make some nice laps with that. We'll just call the touch too big, like a little extra room for our wood glue. So, absolutely destroyed this piece of 4x4 cedar, but the things we have to do to make a project happen. So, let me get our book, handy dandy book out. So our laps are going to be in the corners, and both of those are going to be used with like the front and back pieces. So for example, I have a couple piles of lumber here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this set for one of our doors. Hello, Kiwi and Apple. How you doing? You having a good week? So, essentially how the drawer is going to come together, we're going to have this number, this number, this number. And our laps are going to be on either side of this board, and they're going to be on either side of this board. Now, the good news is, with these laps, is that... Actually, wait a second. I just realized something. I sure do like being me sometimes. And what I've just realized is we spent all this effort dialing this to put laps in this material where the blade's going to take off the same thickness as the material. It's going to... If we were to try to cut laps in this, it won't be like an actual like half lap. It needs to... Wow. I am getting way too far ahead of myself. Oh yeah, because it needs to be like the distant. Okay. So, as things stand now at the table saw, my dado stack is officially too high. Now we get to continue butchering the cedar. And then, because what I actually need is, ideally, is to put a half lap in this, so. Which that involves making a half lap into what is actually 0.7, which is 0.35. And then converting 0.35 into actual quarter fractions of an inch. Sounds like way too much like something I did in school. So I will want half of 3/4. Half of 3/4 is a lot more reasonable, because if we go for... So we can use greatest common denominator between 3 and 4, which is an easy 12, gets us 6... Is it... Wait, 6 over 12? No, it will be 9 over 12. 9 over 12 cut in half is... it's 0.4 over 12. I don't like... Oh, gosh. Damn, why didn't we embrace decimal? Because my material is decimal in its actual dimension. So, but 0.35 is what I want for the half lap. That's really, 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 really close to 1/3. And I can wrap my mind around 1/3 a lot more easily than 0.35. So if I'm like a hair bit bigger than 1/3, then I'm fine. But also, once again, taking the actual workpiece, setting it next to the thing, and then going, oh wait, if I were to actually run this workpiece through this dado stack where it's set up right now, I'm just making my wood smaller and I'm not actually making actual half laps. So I at least found that out before I put a workpiece to blade. So that is very good. So we essentially need to reduce this by half. So that was that. That's actually our most recent cut. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eyeball this. And eyeballing it makes me think I got it reasonably close. Part of me doesn't like using the end grain too much because it tends to behave a little bit more strangely than the other stuff, but I don't have a lot of, that's not really a lot of reference material to send it through this way because I suspect it'll be wobbling more versus on this surface, my piece of wood's not going to want to wobble as much. Wobbling's bad. Wobbling is how you accidentally end up with your hand in the blade. Man, I didn't safety squint enough during that. That was an insufficient amount of safety squinting. So, I have that. Let's figure out how much that actually is. Wait. Ooh, okay, so that's actually 3/8. That's 3/8. Ooh, wait a second. That might be perfect. Because if we do 3/8 for a half lap, it'll look something like that, which... That's close. Oh gosh, that's so close. Man, that is literally so close I almost want to send it, but I do... The question is how much play do I want? Do I want... And I know how to get to my answer. I know how I want to get to my answer. So, funny enough, I also have some scrap of my... This is actually an offcut from when I was dimensioning these parts out earlier. These are actual... Ow! Don't hurt me like that. So, since this is actually out of my work material scrap, I'm gonna take this, line it up, send it, and then I'm gonna see how it stacks up as a half lap. Which, by the way, the answer is very poorly because I didn't fully get a half lap, but you know what? Easy to fix that. So, and funny enough, that one of the fun things with plywood is it has these layers. Plywood is a lot like ogres and onions. It's made up of layers. And this is 5-layer plywood. My blade went through 2 full layers and the better part of a third. So as far as a half lap joint, the width is a bit much because I came a little bit too far in. But my depth, this test means it's really good. Also, actually, one moment, I want to show a thing. So, this here's a rabbit, this here's a dado. This is a loose dado. Most people would be unaccepted with this, but this is for shop furniture that's being made live on stream. I mean, that little bit of play I have, I can live with that. It also gives me a little bit of flexibility when I go to put it together, even though this means the actual put together project will be a little bit less secure. But who needs... Wait, how do I want to word this? How do I want to word this joke? I almost want to say, who needs insecurities when you have beer? But honestly, beer takes care of the insecurities, and I don't think I can actually make a good joke at that point. So, we're doing good. It took a little bit longer, but I think we got things set up to do our half laps. Now, the biggest issue now is making sure I consistently have my board set up to where they'll want to take off. Now, what I've done just here is I've lined it up using where's a pointer? Using this edge of the dado stack. Guard. All of you to assume I can't be insecure and drinking. What are you talking about? I can be... Hey, if you can be insecure in drinking, I also can. Like, shucks, you cannot have a functioning society without coping mechanisms. Or at least nowadays. So, I'm reasonably happy with where this is, and I want to really get fancy here. And I realize I can't do my fancy. And I realize, amen, brother. Yes. Okay, so I have 2 pieces per drawer, per 4 drawers. Each piece gets 2 half laps. That's 4 half laps per drawer. Basically, I have to do a whole lot of this repeatedly. The best way to do it is to set up some sort of what's called stop block. That way I can take my workpiece, slide my workpiece up against the stop block, run it, take this piece around, flip it, well actually yeah, flip it, run it into the stop block, and then send it back through. Because I have way too much fence on the miter gauge, I don't have that option. Yeah, I don't... Oh, man. One of these days I'll eventually... Well, the next big tool upgrade is I need to get a better miter gauge for my table saw. As much as I use my table saw, I use my table saw more than my miter saw, mostly because my miter saw is like... I don't like the stand it's on, simply because the stand is... The table saw is on 3-inch casters, and it rolls wonderfully around my shop. The miter saw station is on 2-inch casters and rolls like garbage. And it is for that reason I lean a lot more on the table saw than I do on my miter saw, even though there's definitely been some projects I've done where the miter saw is the better solution. But, so... I think part of me doesn't want to do things this way, but what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is eyeball it like that, lock in, and then send it through this way, stop, start, eyeball, lock it, pass it through. It's technically more work to do it this way, but I don't see how I could either easily or quickly set up a stop block for this, so we're gonna just have to do this the hard way. But that is our first cut on an actual workpiece, and you know what? I'd say that's actually a really good fit. For something that came out of this shop, I'm happy with that. So, eyeball solution is not perfect. It's not wonderful. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that all my laps, all these lap joints have to face down, especially when I spin my board around. Because if I spin it up like this and I have alternating laps on either side, that's not good. And it's also just like, the biggest enemy of doing things incorrectly in your own shop is yourself and yourself rushing. Never rush. Rush is bad. Which, honestly, this is gonna be like the biggest thing here is like, don't rush. But, I mean, hey, we've spent 45 minutes and we've just made one half lap. And hello, Mr. Spock. How are you doing today? Also, since it's you, Mr. Spock, I have to show you my new beer koozie. Wouldst thou like a taste of beer? Over this past weekend, I was out touching grass with friends, and we went to go see the cocaine bear, the actual stuffed bear that did cocaine. And at the gift shop where the cocaine bear was, they had this koozie, and one of my friends was like, Sugi, you need to own this. And I was like, yes, friend, you're right. I need to own this koozie. Because it's about beer, and I'm very big about beer. So, we got everything set up. Let's go ahead and cut. And this time was unfortunately a bit of a failure, because we did not come far enough over, but that's fine. I basically just about fixed that with my hands. Now, granted, my half lap is now a little bit too long, but that is going to be my enemy with this, is making sure, because it's better for me to take too little versus too much when I'm doing these cuts. So I'm going to probably be a hair bit more aggressive towards me and make sure that these half laps end up on the edge of this board. Okay. So, as we can see once again, really slight failure that time. That failure was so slight, I fixed it with my thumb. But this is also where the stop block that I was talking about earlier would come in. Because once you get things already set up, reasonably dialed, all you can do with your stop block, which your stop block is basically a piece of wood like here, and then you can bring your workpiece up to the stop block, and that sets you up to where you make your pass, and you can do things a lot more quickly and consistently that way, which is kind of a pretty big thing in woodworking, is doing things consistent and safely. Consistent and safely are the big terms. And then this time, nailed it. So, right now we're at a 50% success rate. So let's see if we can up it. We came from that stack. grab our next pair of boards to continue half lapping, because that's also another big aspect of woodworking. Is a lot of doing this is just getting set up, especially when you're doing like power tool woodworking. I feel like hand tool woodworking, you're kind of just like working the project along because you're taking small amounts of material at a time. But because power tools are so much more powerful, you spend a lot more time setting the machine up versus actually doing actual work. Ooh. Let's try that. Yoink. But hey, look. Half lap. Is it deep enough? Yep. So, remember? Our half lap always faces down, because we gotta consistently cut boards consistently. Remember, do not rush. Remember, I make mistakes so that way you guys don't have to make mistakes. So, that was actually just a hair bit off, but because it cut kind of happened at an angle and I had just a hair bit of material here. Honestly, that is a big success. So, our rate of success with the half laps is actually going up. So, we've had 2 failures. Well, we've had 2 we did too much of. But yeah, this is basically where we're going to be at for a little while, because we've only done 1 drawer. So, there, once again, just a touch off, which honestly I'm okay. Like, if I can fix the half lap with my finger, that's not bad. Okay. Granted, I am kicking up plenty of sawdust. All sorts of sawdust. And there we go. Another beautiful set of half laps. To the pile. And we'll just keep working. Keep cutting. There we go. Woo! There we go. Granted, I gotta say, even wearing safety glasses, I'm still surprised at the amount of sawdust that is getting past them. Ooh, yeah. That's good, that's good. So, we'll get that facing the right direction. Get that set up. Do a nice little rough eyeball. Don't we always wish that we could just rough eyeball our measurements and they work out? That's the stuff of true dreams right there. Just imagine. Actually, wait, wouldn't that be like a great like woodworking superpower that asks for the superpower gods for? Like the ability to just eyeball measurements and be right every time. You could just imagine just breaking so many other people's minds doing that. Just being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing now, and then you just do it, and everyone else is just like, how are you just doing that without taking actual measurements? Oh wait, yeah. So we've lost quite a fair amount of this corner of this top ply on this piece. What would that superhero be called? I really don't know. Like, just being able to like make accurate, just eyeball all your measurements is like, oh gosh. Oh gosh, like how? What would you call a person like that? Immediately, what comes to my mind is far too powerful, but there's also less. I can eyeball different weed weights, gram, and eighth ounce. And that comes from experience, I'm sure, Mr. Spock. As for me, I have to measure. As far as like a superpower where you can just like know your measurements, like, and what you would call that type of superhero, I really don't know. I'm pretty sure there's got to be some situation in which where being able to like eyeball things really works out. But I really don't... I don't know. Actually, wait, is there a superhero who just saves infrastructure? Like, imagine somewhere in some random town somewhere, there's a bridge, and that bridge only has 5 usable years of life left in it, and before an incident where that bridge fails, someone has to swoop in and save the day. And then that actually would be a superhero thing, because, man, maintaining infrastructure sure is a dream in this country. It's a dream, but it's a good dream to have. I don't know. Head blank, only gonna make saw noises. And safe. No! No, don't fall in the crack. Don't fall in the crack. Hard to get you out of there. But yeah. Really, we had those two early failures, but now we're like... We're doing good. We're doing good. Okay. Let's see what we get out of this. Man, shucks, I actually, going back to Mr. Spock's comment, I really wish I could just like eyeball amounts of beer. That'd be a great Sugi power. But yeah, there we go. One more half lap done on one more piece of material. And now for the final pieces for the final drawer are these, like, which, funny enough, I'm sure a drawer where this is the size of where this is the height of the drawer, is probably reasonably useful for like measuring tools and drill bits, but probably not too useful for too many other things. The funny thing is there's even not a lot of material for I can eyeball amounts of beer. 1 can, 2 bottles. That works great. Oh, man. How much beer do I got? Podunk Games, how much beer do you think this is? A little? A smidgen? Not enough? Good God, what's wrong with your life? How dare you let that glass get that empty? Definitely not enough. All fair units of measure. Wow. Man. That is the biggest downside of hot season, is I cannot have my garage door open in this weather. There's too much hot out there. There's way too much hot. And also, I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves in this heat. I don't know about you guys, but the heat's been... the weather apps kind of been like, hey, be careful out there. So, for me. And I hope it's not too bad for some of you guys. I mean, granted, it's probably not too bad for Mr. Spock being in Canada. The benefits of the northern lands. But yeah, I think I also mentioned it. I was also like interested in like I need to get I need bigger hoses for my dust collection set up. So that way I can have the dust collector outside, and then I can just run a hose in here and do everything off. Have the dust collector outside making noise, whereas it sucks up dust from in here. It's probably the way to go, and I need to actually measure things up for that. But yeah, once I finish the half laps on this piece, I'll do something about the beer situation. But unfortunately for now, I must wait for Blade to stop spin. Because Blade that spins is not, well, the Blade that spins is dangerous, but also Blade that spins does work. When the motors don't go roundy around them, there's problems. Which I really don't... I don't know how many of you people who have discovered curse controls, but if you like troubleshooting like industrial machinery, I definitely recommend his channel. I'm a big fan of his channel. Ah, so close, so close. We got a little bit of a lip there. And we can finger it away. Maybe do a little bit of chisel work. Maybe a little bit of chisel work, but that's our half lap done. For phew. Things got dusty. So, half laps are done. Disconnect your power, because we're going to be playing with that. But before we play with that, promised you guys something. And I will deliver on the promise. The promise beer! Not to be confused with the Promised Land, but the Promised Land does have beer. Despite what the Mormons say. Actually, wait, that's how you know the Mormons are wrong, is because their Promised Land doesn't have any beer. Oh, cheers, everyone. So, we gotta get into this bad boy. Because we gotta make it smaller. Actually, wait a second. Is this my gripper? So, this was originally set up for 3/4. So we have now made, well, actually, let's kind of give you guys a bit of a showing what we're trying to accomplish here today. We are trying to make a drawer. A drawer is a box that goes in another wooden box. This is probably the best one. We got one piece of wood, another piece of wood. Holy smokes, these drawers are going to be long. Wow. Okay, you know what? That's actually funny. That is funny. That is the distance of the T-tracks in the table saw. But, essentially, this is how the drawer is going to come together. Now, this drawer is going to get what's called a panel. And this is a panel. And what this is going to do is going to sit in there. And then the panel is essentially going to be the bottom of the drawer. So, what I've just done is what's going to bring these 4 pieces together into a frame. The next piece of work is getting these pieces set up to receive that panel, so that way we actually have a bottom to the drawer. I bought a big thing of chicken wings today, 10% off, cooked some in the oven, and it said 425 Fahrenheit, 50 minutes, and put baking powder on them. It worked. Crispy wings and put honey garlic barbecue on them. Ooh. I would like to say that sounds good. But I'm a cursed individual who does not enjoy chicken. But good to hear you enjoyed your chicken. What did I do? Oh. I did a snack lunch. My lunch for today was chips and salsa, followed up by nachos, just because I went to Costco this morning, and I bought just an absolute cornucopious amount of corn chips. Because it has been far too long since I've been to the Costco. I miss Costco. I need to find... Darn it, I misplaced my wrenches. For my table saw. What did I do with those? Darn it, why does this happen to me? Why do I always lose my table saw wrenches? That's weird. Oh! That's the sound of me finding them. Da, 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 da. Ow! But yeah, I also hope people are getting... Oh wait, that's actually in there. I also hope people are getting better news than me today. In the sense of, I had fireplace people come over, and the fireplace people said it's going to cost you a lot of money to get a wood-burning fireplace setup going. Come on, it should be this direction. Nope, torquing the wrong direction. Wrong direction, as always. At least I can blame it on being left-handed, right? The joys of being left-handed, being unable to understand how the rest of the world thinks. Okay, so I'm gonna start by removing a couple of these materials I have. Let's grab our dado stack set, because now we're gonna want to set this up for quarter. Ooh, wow! Actually, 1/4 is easy. So we only do one inside blade, an outside blade, and then 2 of the shims. So actually, we're gonna want to grab all of our chip breakers, which are. So let me get. I'm gonna get the shim out first, because the shim is a somewhat small metal disc. So that's the blade shim. That's part of the dado stack, and then this is a chipper. Need to buy a left-handed dado stack. I need a left-handed table saw, man. I need to buy more left-handed tools. I need a left-handed drill. I was hitchhiking from the res yesterday. Get a ride and try to give him some weed. He said he owns a dispensary but doesn't smoke weed. Left-handed hammer is a classic. Oh man. I would buy a left-handed hammer, but man, there's no room. There's no room in budgets in this economy for left-handed hammers. Now, so, oh yeah. Getting back to what the fireplace people said. Essentially, they said, getting the fireplace upgraded is very, very firmly. Then you gotta buy left-handed nails. It's the whole thing. Oh man, left-handed nails? Man, I'm not gonna be able to afford that. But yeah, the fireplace people said, well, so the fireplace insert, because I already have I have gas logs in my fireplace now. My fireplace isn't deep enough for a wood burning insert. Not only that, what the fireplace is sitting on, it's actually sitting on traditional subfloor, joists and plywood. Because it's sitting on joists and plywood, the heat from a wood burning insert would actually degrade the subfloor. So the fireplace guys said the 2 magic words of killing a home project for fun. The 2 magic words are structural engineer. If you're doing like a home improvement project that's purely for fun and the words structural engineer get involved, yeah, you're kind of just done on that project. So, and that's where I'm at right now. Is like, well, I wanted to have a wood burning fireplace insert. I thought you didn't drink beer with power tools. Is that non-alcoholic beer? Yeah. It's athletic, Mr. Spock. It's their Free Wave Hazy IPA non-alcoholic brew. Because I am sure there is plenty of things. One of the scary things about doing what I'm doing is only imagining what would happen if like actual woodworking VTubers, not woodworking YouTubers, like actual like guys who make woodworking videos, discovered my channel. That'd be scary. No hate for engineers, but they're cursed to be killjoys. Yeah, and it tastes like real beer. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like it's no hate on engineers. It's just like so I actually had another fireplace company come out earlier this week, and they were saying, okay, we can do all this stuff, we can get a wood burning fireplace in here, but they didn't mention the subfloor situation. Their quote for a wood burning fireplace insert was going to be $15K. And while I did have a fair amount of money saved up for this project, a fair amount of money is not $15K worth. I was expecting like 7 to 10K for this project. So once the word structural engineer came out, plus some actual prices, it was like, okay, this has gotten way too expensive for me. Okay. Now I want to double check and make sure. Years ago, the only non-alcoholic beer you could get was near beer, and it was terrible. Yeah, and we called that O'Doul's. That was Anheuser-Busch's Old Doul's beer. Okay. So, one of the notes... So, like, one of the things you gotta do when you're setting up your chipper blades is you want to have them at 90 degrees to them, which is what I did. But you want to have... Oh, sorry. But you want to have the teeth not next to each other. And I'm wanting to double check... Just want to double check my instructions to make sure I want to do the same thing with these guys. So what I think that would look like is this, where the blades are slightly offset. Which is essentially what I want to do. I want to make sure the blades are offset, because you don't want them to be right next to each other, because then they could like rub or something happens. There's all sorts of bad stuff that can happen with dado stacks, man. Okay, honestly. In the great words of some person who existed, who was alive at some point, they once said the magic words of "send it." So we're gonna send it. Try cutting a roast, see what damage it can do. No, no, I am not cleaning meat out of my table saw. Oh God. That'd be messy. It'd be so incredibly messy. And it would be such a... It's gonna be sticky. It's gonna smell bad. At least when I get a boil over in my brew kettle, it's a wet, sticky mess that at least smells good. Because you know it smells like beer. And beer smells good. I wonder if they'll ever come up with, like... Actually, I'm not going to complete that thought. I'm not going to complete that thought. That's not a good thought to complete. Actually, wait a second. I got to do it from this direction. Wait. How was I tightening this again? Away from me. Okay. Oh. There it is. Ugh. Now we have to fill in the blanks, Sugi. What blanks? The things I have to actually like cut on this thing? I don't know. I don't know, man. I think I should just stick to what this thing's engineered to do. But yeah, that's solid. And it gets to go back down, 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 down. But when I raise it up, it makes it a lot easier to access the arbor nut and all that, so... Makes my life a little bit easier there, so... Let's see, let's add that. Oh, wow. Can't believe I actually got that in there that far. So, we're gonna raise it up a little bit and grab this guy. I'm gonna put these exactly where I left them before. And like a true shop dwelling man, I'm probably gonna forget where I set them down. Because, like any guy, I don't need alcohol to forget something. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this scrap piece of lumber from earlier, and I'm gonna try and do my dado cut right here. Oh. Power. Power would be useful. Damn safety. Getting in the way of me getting my work done. Ooh, look at that cute little groove right there. Okay, so we have ourselves cute little groove. Here's an offcut of that material. Oh, yeah, baby. Little bit of wiggle, but that's fine. Oh, that's reasonably set up, and I think that's also reasonable in depth. Because that's like half the material's thickness. So, okay, you know what? I'm like... Actually, just because I want to complete a dumb joke. Ah, come on. There we go. We've already built a shelf today. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes a parent. When does someone become an uncle? The moment they rely on beer for their problems. Amongst other things. Amongst many, many other things. So, the fun part about this part. Miter gauge gets to go away. Damn it. Damn it. Don't have enough room for things. Instead, I'm here, you. The rip fix now becomes the thing. Because let's grab these guys for now. So one of these is going to be the back. 420 alert, puff puff pass. Peace. Well, you do what you need to do, Mr. Spock. I'm going to do what I need to do. So I need to cut a groove that basically runs on the inside corner here, so. And then also on these two pieces. We're going to be using the rip fence for this part of the operation. So we'll disengage the fence and we're going to actually bring it really close to the blade. So right now, the fence is just touching. And then I have, actually, is there anything blocking you? There's nothing blocking you. I can bring you guys back a little bit. Okay, cool. So here's my reference fence down here. So I want to bring this a 1/4 inch towards me. So hello, how's it going, Sugi? Hello and welcome in, Ari. So far, so good. I have not I haven't done any bleeding today, so that's a good day. So, I suspect that is my 1/4 inch. Also, as far as like progress, I have rabbits. We've cut so many rabbits. This, like, all this here is one drawer. This is one drawer. I've got 4 drawers to make, and now we're testing this table saw setup to see if we've got rabbits. Well, if I can do the dado groove for the bottom panel of the drawer. I got my first tattoo today. It's a skull with cobwebs and raspberry vines. So raspberries aren't vines. Raspberries are a cane plant. Cane plants grow, flower, reproduce on a biannual cycle versus a vine. A vine is a self-climbing plant. Heck you, Limo, you know what I know what you mean. And that also does sound like a cool tattoo. But yeah, so here's like the scrap piece of material I've been using for a lot of these cuts. So here we have our 3/4 dado, here's our 1/4 dado, and here's our 3/4 rabbit. So I'm gonna be doing this, we're gonna send it through, and then I wanna make sure the space between the blade and the rip fence is my exact 1/4. Also, I got beer. Beer makes me happy. But it's good to see there's plenty of happiness going around today. I think I deserve 1 beer for getting stabbed in the arm. 060. Wait, is that a B? Wait. No, it's an 8. So 060384832 times. So, yes. If you want someone to say, yes, you deserve a beer, I say you deserve a beer. Now, I want to make sure. Yeah. Oh, wait. Webcam die? Question mark? Wait a second. I think webcam just died, but it did not die. The feed died, but not webcam. That's weird. In which case, plug it back in. The old IT tech solution. Yay! Okay. Like, why weren't the people seeing the thing? You gotta see the thing. But yeah, like, we've got our 1/4, our dado is 1/4 off our edge, which is perfect. So, when we go, you work in IT? You and Zerzon switch jobs? No, I am an HVAC guy, and I'm very tired of fixing ACs right now because this past week has been the first week in the 90s in my area, and my entire life has been fixing ACs all this past week. And I'm getting tired of it. But I do know basic IT solutions. Basic IT solution number 1, turn it off and turn it back on again. Basic IT solution number 2, pull it out, plug it back in. 98 in the town where I got the tattoo today. Ew. That's actually higher than what it got here. And this is Kentucky. I mean, granted, I live in a swamp. But yeah. When we go to assemble our drawers, that's kind of like what the assembly is going to look like, so. Which I really do like the fact that there's actually just a hair bit. How do you convert an AC to a heat pump? So you need a couple of things. Well, so funny enough, you kind of just can't just convert a regular AC to a heat pump because, dude, I drove past a place today called Satan's Kingdom. Maybe that's why it was so hot. Oh man, getting way too close to Satan. Yep, that's what causes too much hot is Satan. But for the AC, the heat pump question, Mr. Spock, the first biggest point between an AC and a heat pump is what's called a reversing valve. I need a bypass valve or something. It's a reversing valve, but you do also need bypass valves. So in an AC, refrigerant flows from the outside unit. Well, so let's start the compressor. It goes through the outside coil, goes from a superheated, super hot vapor to a warm, subcool liquid going to the inside coil where it hits what's called an expansion valve. The expansion valve at the coil drops the pressure of the refrigerant, turning the refrigerant into a low pressure, low temperature, semi-liquid vapor mix that goes through the indoor coil. The indoor coil is called the evaporator, and it's called the evaporator because it evaporates the liquid refrigerant into a vapor refrigerant. Leaving the evaporator coil, it leaves as a superheated vapor back to the outdoor unit and the compressor once again. And that is how ACs produce cooling. This is also called the vapor compression refrigeration cycle, where we use the phase change of a special chemical, in this case called a refrigerant, going from a liquid to a gas to absorb heat, typically from the indoor air that's being circulated through your air ducts. And then we send it to the outdoor unit where it gets turned from a vapor back into a liquid again, and then it just does that loop a whole bunch of times to take heat from the inside of the house to the outside of the house and goes goodbye heat. And that's how AC works. Heat pump works by a reversing valve, and you will have, so going back to the metering device, which is the device that drops the pressure of the refrigerant, you have to have a metering device at both your indoor and your outdoor with a heat pump. So those are like the two biggest differences between AC and heat pump, is you gotta have the reversing valve, and you also have to have both a metering device at the indoor and outdoor. Because a heat pump in heating mode is taking heat from the outside air, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna shove it into the house. I know a fair bit about heat pumps simply because, one, HVAC guy, two, I've installed a heat pump at my house, and I've also have a heat pump water heater. Can I turn my pellet stove into a heat pump? Sure. I'll just steal the pellet stove and take it. Since I can't have my wood-burning fireplace insert. So. I'm feeling really good about this. No! Aww. I want to burn things in my house. I really want to burn things in my house. Now, the big question I have is I'm not entirely 100% sure if I should have grooves in both my front and back pieces for the drawers, but I don't see any harm in cutting grooves in both pieces, so we're gonna be You can have the standalone stove, the insert we're keeping. Oh, the standalone wood burning stove. I'm sure you probably spend a fair bit of money on the insert if you have it. Granted, actually, you know what? You guys probably need it because you deal with more cold than I do. Because I'm a lot further south, so I don't have to worry about too much cold. Still fair. That too. We have a standalone pellet stove too. Oh, 0 degrees or worse. Let's go. Well, I hope it doesn't get like... I hope you don't get lots of that. Because lots of that's not good. Okay, since we're not dealing too much with the magic ruler. It's cold here in winter. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I like about where I live, is I have access to all 4 seasons, but never enough fall. There's never enough fall. I wish we could get more fall. But otherwise, I get a fair amount of all 4 seasons, and I don't suffer too much of summer, but I don't suffer too much of winter. And also, hello and welcome in Dad's Old Shop. I hope you're having a good evening. Me, I've about reached oh no levels of beer. Where I can move, it's fall all around year round with like 3 or 4 Halloweens. Mythical places like that don't exist. You can't have fall all year round. Honestly, I would love a place that had like a consistent, like give me like solid 3 months of fall. I want a solid 3 months of fall. If the sun could chill, I'll be good. If the humidity could chill, I could be good. Less humidity. The only fall I'm having all year round is falling down the stairs. Oh no, not falling downstairs. Granted, I've yet to actually fall off my bike this year. Actually, wait a second. That's the next thing. That's the next fall I need to make happen. Is I need to fall off my bicycle at some point. Okay. I think this is enough yammering. I should probably actually get some work. Clancy is trying to claim my life insurance, I swear. Oh, you jinxed yourself. Good. I need more ouchies and boo-boos. I never really seem to like meet my ouchie and boo-boo quota. Don't worry, Dad's Old Shop. It won't be the table saw that hurts me. It will be the terrible air quality I've just generated. It will be the thing that hurts me the most. But hey, look at this. We have a groove. We have a 2 groove. Followed up by groove number 3. And then, don't forget, groove number 4. So, that's the parts for 1 drawer. That is the parts for one drawer done. Spock, did you know you can smoke the funny leaf and donate blood? Oh, that's actually good information to know. Oh gosh. But yeah. Why do I need to worry about Final Destination stuff when I'm... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna just ruin myself with poor air quality. Granted, I am actually running my standalone air purifier. It's just when I'm cutting grooves with this bad boy, it can't keep up. It can't keep up. Okay. So I'm gonna hydrate. Infinite dust works. Ah, a woodworker's VTuber. Being a woodworking VTuber's greatest superpower, infinite dust works. Everyone gets bad air quality. Los Angeles, bad air quality. Alberta, bad air quality. New York City, bad air quality. Everyone gets bad air quality. Okay. Well, these grooves aren't going to cut themselves, unfortunately. Okay, dangerous bit done. Groove! Groove! And another. And another. That is 4 more grooves done. Nobody wants my blood, it's green. I went to Beijing a while ago. Smog so bad you can only see a mile from the skyscraper. Yikes. Groovy. Yep, that is it. That is what all of us silly billies who like to play with wood are about. It is always about the puns. Huh? Did you get Winnie the Pooh merch? I don't know. That seems kind of what's the word? Yabai? When will Gen Z and Gen Alpha find the Austin Powers movies? I want that. Yes. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh no. This is before Winnie the Pooh. Gene 2. Gosh, like, oh. Man, like, the Austin Powers scene that I identify the most with is, I think it's the Win and Gold member, where the base is basically self-destructing, and Austin is trying to escape the base, and he's trying to perform a K-turn with a utility. It's like a utility cart thing that they use to drive around the base, and how do I best describe this? Like he is like, this is cart. This space is the alleyway that once left. And he's just trying to turn the damn cart around. Like, that goes through me. That goes through my mind every time I'm just thinking about to be like, okay, I'm about to do something. We use that all the time in Voxel for driving yourself into a corner. But yeah, that's like the most identifiable thing I've gotten out of the Austin Powers movies. Also, see this? You didn't see that. Actually, wait a second. I gotta put this in the... I have to put this in the appropriate koozie, man. Oh no. Actually, I wonder how much Gen Z and Gen Alpha will actually find out about some of this past media, just because some of them are actually flocking to older media because older media is physical. The Just the Two of Us song number from Austin Powers 2 is my favorite, I think. They yearned for our childhood. Oh no. Oh gosh, are us elder millennials gonna look at these youngsters and be like, ha, you merely adopted the physical media. We were born in physical media. Physical media is all that existed back in our day and age. We didn't have internet. Granted, we also had a lot less late-stage capitalism. Also, granted, I don't know if Mr. Spock or if Dad's old shop saw the new koozie, but yeah. Wouldst thou like a taste of beer? New koozie. I don't need a koozie because, well, if you drink beer quick enough, you don't need a koozie. But it's appropriately funny. And I like appropriately funny things, so. Oh, did you go to the Ren Fair? I did go to the Ren Fair weekend after last weekend. This came from Cocaine Bear. This was in... I bought this when I saw Cocaine Bear. I bought this. I bought a possum sticker. And because I have some level of interest in birds, I bought a Kentucky bird poster. Which is cool, because Cocaine Bear Shop has the weirdest eccentric mix of stuff. Yeah, it's a nice poster. I mean, like, it's got cardinals, it has truffled titmouse, northern flicker, but yeah, it's really pretty. And then we have, like, really cool birds, like the great blue heron, turkey. But yeah, it's... Considering the stupid levels of heat that exist on the other side of this garage door of mine, we're going to be spending a lot of time with the table saw over the next month or two. And I was actually looking around online, and I did see I could get acrylic from Walmart for a reasonable price. So I'm thinking about making some frames for some of these posters I have. So there's probably going to be an art coming up. There's going to be a couple streams coming up where on today's stream, Sugi makes a frame. Last time on Homesteader Ball Z, Sugi made a picture frame. Today he's making another picture frame. Luckily it's so hot I can't stream. Both my stream setups are like 90 plus degrees when I come home? Oh god. Oh god. Is there a turkey on the bird poster? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, we did have turkey on bird poster. We had wild turkey down here. My phone was so hot when I was outside that it wouldn't turn on. Ugh. Heat bad, man. I mean, yeah. Heat really bad. I mean, granted, I gotta be honest, I am spoiled rotten right now. My garage is currently 67 degrees because 1, basement, 2, heat pump water heater. My hot water for my showers comes from the residual heat in my basement. So I actually get a little bit of extra bonus AC thanks to the heat pump water heater. As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. They can glide. They can actually glide. That's nice. I mean, I spent a lot of money on that nice thing, man. I spent $6,500 on that nice thing. My basement is hot because I gotta run a dehumidifier that just bleaches out heat. Well, yeah, because that's what a dehumidifier does. Is funny enough, a dehumidifier is literally a mini AC that runs air across a cold coil to pull moisture out of the air. It's actually a dehumidifier is actually literally a mini AC, but it's a self-contained mini AC. So it just bleaches out hot air and peace humidity? Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about, well, so since I actually have a fancy HVAC, my fancy HVAC is so... My HVAC has been so unreally good at stripping humidity out of the air. When the sun goes down and I go into my main bedroom, I have like a little humidity temperature sensor thing in my master bedroom. Yeah, the humidity in my master bedroom in the evening hours gets down to like 35% in these conditions, and I'm so glad I have fancy AC that just destroys humidity. Wonderfully so. Let's go to variable speed AC, variable speed heat pumps. Main bedroom. Okay, bourgeoisie. I'm sorry, Ari. I should call it what it actually is called. The master bedroom. I mean, if I really wanted to be offensive, I could just be like, yeah, here's the actual stats. When I get my retirement home, we'll get something with central air. My 102-year-old house doesn't have floor space for ductwork. Well, Dad's old shop. Asia came up with a solution for you, and it's called the mini split. It's called mini splits. Granted, your house is also designed to work without AC. But it was also designed to work without AC before climate change, so. Ooh. You know what? I'm not gonna go. There's a tangent. There's a bit of a tangent, but that's way too much tangent. Like, the goal of today's stream was to put together drawers. I'm not even done cutting material, and I'm nearly 2 hours in. I'm getting distracted. Sorry. Well, yep. Yeah, it's generally comfortable. The first 2 floors are generally comfortable with window units. Yeah, but that 3rd floor is probably unreal. I can get a retirement home too. Only 35 years and 2 days away. Yeah, I'm gonna eventually retire. Well, I'm gonna retire, and I'm what, 29 years? Question mark? 29 years-ish. I have to clean my heat pump. I was going to use spray 9 and then spray with hot water. Would that work? If you're talking about the outside unit, Mr. Spock, just use regular water. Just regular water. If we gotta replace our 30-plus-year-old heater, we're looking at adding mini splits then. Bella, don't count it. It's such a sad count. Okay. Let's take our mind off sad counts by power tool noises. Like stars, but these stars hurt my lungs. Meth of the damn. It's sad because I count the hours and minutes. Oh, don't be doing that to yourself, Irie. You deserve to treat yourself a bit better than that. And by treating yourself a bit better than that, by all means, use whatever coping mechanism that is appropriate for you to not think about the unpleasant stuff. Well, the unpleasant math. Reminds me of that Death Clock song briefcase full of guts. Drugs? No, sawdust. Oh, well, sure, drugs. Technically, this is drug. This is legal drug, though. I bought this drug at Costco today. Man, you can, yeah, that's the best thing about Costco. You can get your drugs in bulk, only if you have enough drugs for the class. Oh, man. That's a shame. Having to share drugs with the class. What? Buying it in bulk is hilarious. Well, yeah, like, oh my gosh, like, I can get a 24-pack of Sopro beers for $25. I love Costco so much. I love Costco because I can get affordable foods, and I can get affordable beer to go with those foods. Also, my Costco had the pizza kits in stock this time, and that makes me very happy, because the pizza kits it's basically this big plastic thing with 4 pizza crusts and 4 packets of sauce. And it's like $8, it's like less than $9 for this pack of pizza crusts and sauces. Man, being able to like hand make some pizzas, throw some darn good cheese, maybe add some onions or peppers or some other like good vegetable into the pizza, throw that bad boy in the oven, cook it up. Ah, I love it. As much as I love frozen pizza, like buying the Costco pizza kits because they use sourdough crust and it's so good. It's so tasty. Pineapple pizza. And here we have Mr. Spock once again attempting to beat the bush in the hornet's nest. How expensive could drugs really be when the cracker rock? But Costco makes the drugs affordable so that way everyone can enjoy them. So, this, which, funny enough, this does not look like much shelf, but this is actually going to be one of, it doesn't look like much drawer, but this is going to be one of our drawers, so. This is actually the last one I need to cut, so. One last round of table saw noises. Oh boy, I hope my hair quality improves slowly over the course of the next hour. But we have grooves. Everything has become groovy. Now, goodbye, Blades of Doom. You've served me well. And now, like anything in late-stage capitalism, I banish you to a place where I can no longer think about you. Granted, I actually joke about that. It's not actually anything I actually... This shop furniture is about to be better than my regular furniture. I don't think so. Podunk Games. They had hot dogs on sale at the store today. 27 hot dogs for $7. I said it was made from chicken, pork, and beef, but I don't know. If I'm doing hot dogs, I just do regular hot dogs. Well, like regular words. There's words in this head somewhere, but beef hot dogs. I like those. I like those hot dogs. Granted, I'm also what a lot of people consider a strange and weird individual. If Sugi has 100 hype men, I'm one of them. If he has one hype man, it's me. I bet it's made from chicken. Okay, with extra snouts and cloacas. Oh man, I am just a VTuber in the garage. I am just a VTuber in the garage having fun. Now, the big question at this point is assembly. How do I want to do this? Because I could put this together and hope friction holds everything, but overly relying on friction seems like a bad idea to me. But the thing is I have to build 4 of these shelves. So, well, 4. I have to build 4 drawers, and this is kind of the strange part where I'm at. Actually, I'm gonna build this guy. This guy's a little bit more substantial, because when I'm thinking about what I should do is add a dab of glue to these two to these two, set the piece of plywood, get everything added, and then add my drawers to the side. Is how I think I'm wanting to go about this. Hey yo, Mr. Sugi, how's it going? The Nando unofficial Zerzon raid. Wait, what? Unofficial Zerzon raid? Oh gosh. And also, hello, welcome in, yes, welcome in, Printed Hoss. Welcome in, Nando, and welcome in, Zerzon. And for anyone who doesn't know who I am Sugi Yamagawa. He sent me after his stream. Let's go, welcome Raiders. Oh gosh, so my name's Sugi Yamagawa. I'm just a regular guy VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s. And today on doing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, I am attempting to build drawers. I have dimensioned pieces of wood and I have added grooves to these pieces of wood. And now I'm at the point where I'm figuring out what's my order of operation. In the raid, it's a raid. And also, Zerzon, if you need to take care of yourself, hydrate, get a snack, whatever, by all means do it. Or if you just need to like take off and just log off for the day, I fully understand. Because I don't know about you, but all this recently warm weather has definitely been exhausting me. Which, funny enough, I was like going into the stream today, it was like, man, I feel real low energy, but as things have went on, my energy levels have actually improved, which is strange, but, oh, I had work pieces on my panels. Zerzon, can you teach Sugi basic? IT bro has his camera freezes. Hey, yeah, the heat is rough. So glad to be done with work for the long weekend. Nice. Yes, may everyone have a long weekend. So, actually, what I need to see is how much this panel protrudes out of... Oh, wow. Wowee. Wait. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, funny enough, that's actually kind of what I'm aiming for. Because... Oh, wait, yeah, because the half-laps. I actually need to do something along that line. Delta Room was great. I'm fully done with the current chapter, so I must wait another year for more now. Oh, no. The wait for the next content. Okay. Ow! Close, 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 close. Go up, down. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, cool. So... yeah, that's actually how I want to do things. Now I just got to figure out... do I actually want to add glue to these grooves to hold it? Oh wow, I didn't realize it was so long between the updates. Thankfully, I got Sugi content to entertain me now. Oh wow, that's quite a neat corner. Oh, thank you. Technically, the corner's a lit... well, it's really close. It's really close, but it's... ah! But yeah, it's just like a half-lap joint, so it's really nothing too spectacular. Honestly, with how... I really think all I really need is a good bit of wood glue wherever I want to do these half-lap connections, and then if I really, 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 really want to, I could add screws to help hold it, but I will probably, once I start applying some glue to this, I'm probably going to want to grab every woodworker's #1 friend, the humble clamp. So I'm gonna need a clamp. Also, another thing to also think about is I don't have enough panel here because this panel doesn't stick out enough. I probably should have made it a hair bit bigger. Because if it's fully seated in the back one, it will not catch into the front groove of this piece. So this piece, when it gets assembled with the project, will just have to be held with hope. No dowels, no spline scandal. Yeah. I'm a pretty scandalous woodworker, man. I mean, if you want, I can glue this together without clamps and actually have it hold. If you want to see that wild trick, which it is a wild trick, but I think I will get away without using, I know I can get away without using glue in the corners. Use super glue instead of wood glue. Oh no, I don't want to see woodworking gore. Chatting, no dowels, no splines of VTubers out of the line. Oh man, you're just making me entertain my darkest thoughts. Hopes and dreams are the best ingredient to love working carpentry work. Shit slaps for real. Oh gosh. Well, I really wouldn't be a true VTuber if I didn't do anything that actually upset people in some way. So, oh wait, I do have one thing to show. I finally got around to being a big boy woodworker. And that is, I have started buying my paste by the gallon. So now I have gallons of paste, and thankfully I don't have to worry about drinking all of this in one sitting, because there's no way to actually go through all that wood paste by myself. Yummy. Yes. Tight Bond number 3. My favorite paste. So we're gonna give a really good heavy dab of... Yeah, I can just do that. This is a good source of calcium. Is there an Actually, I should get the MSDS for this. Probably doesn't have ingredients. Ooh, can expose you to vinyl acetate, a carcinogen, which is maybe known to be a carcinogen in the state of California. Well, good thing I'm not in California. No, just horsepower. Ooh, wait. Is that how those athletes upgrade their horsepower? They just do Type Bond. Actually, Type Bond 1 has superior flavor. Wait, Type Bond 1 has superior flavor? You mean this guy? Do we taste test this? I'm sorry, I was just really tempted to make that joke. So I'm just gonna get a hair bit of a lip there. Don't underestimate people who are having fun and don't underestimate. You only get cancer in California. Bachelor glue now with flavor. What a gourmet buffet selection you have there. Yep. Only the finest. So. Oh wait, I don't actually have the not clamps. Let me grab those. Look, guys, it's not clamps. Behold, the greatest sacrilege in woodworking. Being like, oh, screw it. Where's my Torx bits? Here, come. Plus bits. There we go. That's screwed up. Oh, don't worry. Actually, wait a second. So, these screws are being put in a horizontal plane. We're being screwed sideways. We're not screwing up, we're screwing sideways. There's a bit of a technical difference there. See, like, look. This is sideways being screwed. This isn't being screwed up. When all else fails, screw logic. Turn it all sideways and get it in there. Yes. Oh, wow. Actually, I want to see how that behaved. And that did misbehave a little bit. But the screw is so in today's instance, the screw is being used as a substitute for a clamp. So it is literally just going to stay in there and hold that while that glue dries. The blasphemous will come. Just in the hardware of the righteous. Yes. We will come. Speaking of getting screwed and enjoying it, and instead, you will only find unhealthy amounts of sawdust being consumed. Unhealthy amounts of sawdust being consumed, and also blast. Ooh. Oh no. Oops. I screwed up. I have a little. There's a little bit of a lip of wood there. I need to fix that. And I need to grab a chisel to fix that. Which is on the opposite end of the top from where I reside. But thankfully, I am working with Tight Bond number 3, which gives me lots of time. Also, yeah, don't look at me. Only 7 more pallets and you can get a squinch. Actually, that's still... I actually need to cut this away from me. Remember, cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. Or you can be a failure, like me. But that's what happens when I get too excited. Is I start doing work without checking my pieces, man. And when you don't check your pieces, you end up in trouble. Which is how I nearly ended up in trouble. But thankfully, there are limits to the amount of trouble I can end up getting into. Because I've greatly been able to eliminate that. Nah, if you don't fail, you just take the long way to success. That's positive thinking right there. Whoop. Oh. Wait a second. Oh, I gotta fix that. And once again. Serves the wood. Serve the wood, Frodo. Oh god. Okay. So, in actual news, there is a slight whoopsie-doodles. And that slight whoopsie-doodles is this panel. This panel right here is a 1/4 inch too big. And I need to fix that. And funny enough, there's actually more of these panels I need to fix. So, the good news is, because I screwed my problem together, I can just take that and set it aside while I worry about this problem instead. Which, actually, speaking of this guy. So, I'm going to want these panels, tape measure. I'm going to want my panels to be a 1/4 inch on either side bigger than the length of this piece. Sorry. I'm bumping things, man. So that's, my inside corner is a little bit more than 12.5. Honestly, I need to make these panels like 13. 13 is the magic number. You gotta pin nail the front to the drawers? Well, you know what they say, you can always remove material harder to put it back. Yep. No! Oh, that worked. Yay. Crisis averted. Woo! So, for the front of the drawers, I actually, there's a plan for that. Granted, the game plan for today was just to end up at drawer. So, what I was wanting to do for the fronts of the drawers are going to be the pieces of material you've seen so far. But the front of the drawers, I was going to cut those out of the cedar I have laying around. Because I think, one, cedar is pretty, and two, I have way too much of this stuff. Very Shaker-esque. So, and what I was gonna do is I was gonna screw it from the inside of the drawer to the face. Was the game plan? So, technically, I don't have to use the dado stack, but you know what? Let's actually just use it. No, a VTuber earlier told me today that cedar likes to chip. Don't trust the version of yourself from... Look, I never trust the me of like 5 minutes ago. I've learned to not trust that guy. Like, do you seriously think that I look like a person who would trust someone who consumes alcohol and then operates power tools? That is very untrustworthy behavior right there. But also, cedar does like to chip, but there's also ways to, like, manage that. Whoa. Oh, wait, yeah. I forget what... I always forget the different scales. I want... What did we decide on? 13 inches? I've already forgotten. Why have bird brain when you can just have VTuber brain? So we're a hair bit longer than 12.5, and I want a 1/4 inch on each side, so I need to be at 13. So 13 should be good. Maybe just a touch more will be fine. Sugi Vice is dead. Long live Sugi Vice. You can ban Andrew whenever you want. So, one of the very fun things, and a very rare thing I can say as a streamer at this point, is in my time streaming, I have never once engaged in a moderator action at all. I've never had to ban anyone. I haven't had anything that has come up that has had to warrant that. The mild heckling that's going on is more than tolerable with me. And honestly, I really just want to be able to, like, hold on to the dumb, stupid pride of being able to say, I've never actually had to ban someone. Are you challenging me? For some reason, I just don't get haters. I don't get haters. I don't get people who are posting, like, dumb stuff. Like, there's actually... It seems I have to up my game, Suki. By all means, the challenge is there on the table. There was one time during an earlier Stardew stream where someone posted... It was like a creepypasta thing, but it was in Japanese. So they literally just posted that one creepypasta. I took a note of it and it was just like, I kind of acknowledged it, but kind of didn't. And just continued with stream, and then afterwards I Google translated it and then found out it was like some sort of like creepypasta thing. And it was like, oh, okay. But that's like the closest thing I've actually gotten to having to actually deal with people kind of like doing unwelcoming things. Like, for some reason, I've gotten very lucky. Your wood is subpar, and I hope your next sip of beer is warm and without gas. Ha! There's no next sip of beer here. I mean, eventually there'll be a sip of beer. Actually, wait a second. Here. There we go. Now, if I take that, alas, my plans have foiled. Now, if I take this and set it outside for an hour, that will be warm. Moderator sees him. What moderators? There are none. There's literally none. Now, granted, there was actually one time Dad's Old Shop wanted to post a link, and YouTube wouldn't let him. And I have been thinking about modding him just so that way he can post links, but you know what? It's fun to say. I don't have mods. I've yet to need mods, and I sincerely hope this can continue. Okay. Table saw noises incoming. Mods are offline, post mildly undesirable beer temperature. Negative 82? How can the alcohol affect me if it's frozen? How am I supposed to get drunk on chunks of frozen alcohol? Every chat room should have a Spock mascot mod. Every chat popsicle. No, my beer. It's not even beer slushy. It's just ice now. Okay. Let's see how this fits in the rough frame we have going. Because also, this is part of the thing that helps hold the square. Damn. Oh, there we go. Okay, so, funny enough, we may have made that a touch too short. But you know what? There's a fun thing with grooves. There's a little bit of flexibility to it. So, there's a little bit of material sticking out that catch our next piece. And where's my paste? Hello, delicious. I missed you. pretty sure chat missed you too. Actually, it would be fun if there was actual nutrition facts for Type Bond glue. Petition for Mr. Spock to get mods so we can all joke Spock's not getting paid enough for this. He isn't getting paid at all. Oh gosh, that's a funny joke. That's a funny joke. Actually, one moment. Let me slide my wood together for a moment. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. It's starting to... Oh gosh. Guys, it's starting to look like something. Okay, do I want to worry about doing that? Yeah, I probably should worry about that. I need to worry about that. That needs to happen. Because I should probably do this while the glue's tacking up. I gotta install my clamp. Just pardon me a moment while I get this clamp in. And then I pulled out my panel. Because it pulled that in. Okay. Wait a second. Unfortunately... Come here. Play nice. But, see, I made it a hair bit... I was a hair bit too long, and now I've made it too short, and I'm suffering the consequences of that action. But... that's panel... That's reasonably together. There we go. Reasonably together. Okay. I got... actually, how did I do this again? Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. Ask a question. Let's see. Oh gosh, I need to... Because I can't spell worth a thing. I am terrible with spelling. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was missing a letter. Okay. Is that right? Yes. Okay. B-A... Okay. And let's see, we'll do ba. Okay, so there's now a poll. So you can now vote on whether or not we make the joke. Mr. Spock is not getting paid enough for this. Oh man, we reached 50-50. You guys are wonderful. Okay, so now I do have a little bit of a sad going on here, and that is I'm gonna not have enough panel coming out to fully support this piece. Coming in there? Actually, wait a second. Let's see. I need... need that piece to come in. Oh. Oh, that's one. Would there be free? Oh, this might work. This actually might work. Actually, I know how I'm. I actually know how I want to do this next time, though. That is actually a thing I figured out. Because it does reason 2026. Well, it's at 50-50, which I think is funny. So, there is a slight sad with the drawer, and I have this gap. That's kind of that's a bit of a sad. But that is a fixable sad. But what I think I'll do next time is I'll set up this, do this, slide that in, and then rather than this part being last part, this will be last part. Will be the way to do it. So. But it will fit together. It will come together. We will have a project. Because today's goal was to build drawers. And getting this done equals one drawer. And just one drawer. We need multiple of these. And unfortunately, I'm starting to run into issues, man. Okay. So we have our glue and our thing. We'll bring our thing up here. Get that centered on the groove. There we go. Come in here. And then that's assembled. A pair of drawers on stream 2026. Oh man. Man. I remember the days of Tempest Pantsu. Those were... Oh, gosh, that cover of Yatta, that will forever live rent-free in my head. Because gosh, Tempest Pantsu was so funny. That was a very funny moment from a very classic age of VTubing. And also, don't remind me about how long ago that was. I don't want to be reminded of my age. The Yatta cover is so good. Yes, you understand, Nando. Who is my... And Andrew, who's my Holo Kamiyoshi? I will say, my #1 VTuber out of Holo Stars is Vesper Noir. I love that man so much. I was so sad when he graduated. Especially considering I was very much debating on whether or not I was going to get his B-Day merch, his birthday merch, and I said no. I voted no. I was only joking. Well, no's winning, so you're safe for now, Mr. Spock. You need to be careful about jokes around here. We take puns and jokes very. Vesper for Malik, Kelly for female. Oh man, just going with the most real of real options. Okay. There we go. So, I do have a slight issue You got me. Fighting for my life not to get in trouble here. So, I did cut this out. I did cut this panel a little bit short. So I have a little bit of flexi flex because it's not being supported in that groove. What will probably be my solution here is I won't do this on stream. I'll do this later. Also, the couch is close to the air conditioner. I asked Andrew to name every VTuber he knew months ago. Funniest stuff of my life. Oh man. So, there's actually two ways I could take care of this. I could add a series of like small finishing nails here, and as weight gets added, they'll support it. Or I could glue a strip of wood to here into this and just fill it in, and then that will be a little bit of extra support to it. Because actually what I could do, what I really like the idea of doing is doing that strip of wood here, and then on this side, filling that in with a bead of wood glue mixed with sawdust as a filler. And then that will actually fill that one. Oh, dearie goodness. Okay, you guys are talking about me too much because my ears are ringing. Okay, and now we're gonna end poll. So, Mr. Spock doesn't have to be a mod. He dodged a bullet. I think I have more deadbeat merch than printed photos of Andrew. Next time, Spock. Oh no. It's like that's all the energy of next time gadget. So, before I call this reasonably done for today's stream, I'm gonna check my corners. Which, holy smokes. You know what? For the second drawer I've ever made, those look like corners. Those are reasonably square corners. Hey, you know what? So, Grant, I will say this. If you guys want to watch me put next kitchen cabinets, no, this is why I'm single, man. This is why I'm single, because I can live with the kitchen cabinets that were installed in my home when this house was built. I don't have to worry about renovating my kitchen. I don't want to renovate my kitchen. So pissed. Oh gosh. So, the question I have for you all is, I do want to ask you how you're feeling. I am more than happy to put together a couple more of these guys. However, though, I am going to really have to use the restroom, so I'm going to probably have to take a bathroom break, and then once I get back from the bathroom break, we can go ahead and put a few more of these guys together. But if you guys are feeling pretty good today, I am also more than happy to end stream here, because, well, the little woodworker's room? Yeah, the little woodworker's room. Because on one hand, honestly, I'm okay either way, but if you guys want to stick around for a little while longer, I got burritos to eat, so I'll stick around. Up to you. Okay, well, one person has made their voice heard loud and clear. So I'm gonna take care of my oversaturation of fluids, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am now back and filled with a lower. Well, I still have fluids because, well, I'm still alive, but I'm not. The fluids aren't causing me pain anymore. I thought hardcore YouTubers use a pee jug. No, I'm more civilized than that. That is such a cursed way to say you gotta piss. Well, that's fortunate. Yeah. Well, you know, being alive. Now, also, I gotta address something right now. I think the build quality is a little bit too high right now, so let's drink more beer. And hope. Ooh, actually, had a nice little bit of smokiness to it. A little bit of vapor. But yeah, build quality is too high. Need to fix that. And that's what we have beer for. So I've got myself some Kolsch. We need to lower our quality standards down for beer. Exactly. Man, just imagine if you worked at a company and it was like, man, the quality standards are too high around here. Everyone, you need to drink more alcohol. There's something almost intoxicating about 13 more beers. Ah, yes. The good old baker's dozen of beers. Oh, okay. That's delightful. You get off to the side. We're gonna start. Oh, wait. Did I bump that? I probably bumped that. So, we're gonna start with panel. Sure, we're gonna build this shelf. Bro is about to have half a shoju? I wish. So, I need this panel to only be a 1/4 inch on each side. Right now, I'm a little bit too wide, so I do need to thin this down. But on that last one, I'm beer. No, Spock, you need to get a beer. Oh no. If I could express you some beer, sir, you deserve beer. Granted, honestly, if you're watching, this is why you can't be mud. Oh, Zerzon, you don't understand. If you're watching me, you deserve a beer. Partly because you're also watching me. Oh. Nope. Come to me, my piece of plywood. Okay. Here we go. And the whirly doohickey is in the upward position. We like it when the whirly doohickey is in the upward position. So last time, we measured ourselves. I think we wanted to cut it at 13. I think I will want to do 13 1/4. So I'm going to use my benchy mic for there. Set that. Workpiece goes behind me. Tape measure goes on there. So, and then I'm going to take a look at that. Actually, I wish I saved the offcut from earlier. So, looking at this, I'm going to set my fence, which I actually did not lock. Bad Sugi. I'm going to set a hair bit towards me, and I'm going to take a lot less off. So I'm going to take a lot less off. And then with that lesser amount of material, before I start playing with the paste I also like to occasionally eat so much, we're going to do a dry fit. So, let's get ourselves some materials. I want you and you two. So, what we're going to do, grab you, push block, go down there, and take you, and flex you into that groove. Get in the groove. The groove is your home. Is your home not good enough for you? There we go. So, and then we'll bring this piece in. So that's going to be one corner. One corner looking okay-ish. Perfectly fine for top furniture. Ooh, and I'm liking this. I got a, ooh, you guys can't see what I like. No! There, look. Oh! I got... Ooh, biblically accurate Sugi hand. Oh, dearie. That's disturbing. Are you okay, camera? Oh, that's what's wrong with camera. Don't worry about the Matrix. It's not real. Oh, okay. So the GoPro's at like 6% battery. That's why it's doing that. Tripping balls. Yeah, the GoPro's about to die. The battery's about to die. Oh, wow. Wait a second. The last one was... Wait a second. That's... reasonable. Except... I need to make sure that I'm fully seated at the depth. So what looks like is going on here... Okay. This piece is slightly too wide. It's just faster to switch to your side camera than reload. Unfortunately, with GoPro technology, reloading is the only option, so... Goodbye. Ooh! That battery's a hand warmer now. And... oh! Camera network error. Actually, you know what? We had that earlier. Well, you know what you do when you have a network error? You unplug it and plug it back in. If you did make someone a mod, it would attract trolls. Tracks the Homestuck drills. Oh no. Man, that is something I have not heard about in a long time, is Homestuck. So, what I actually have going on with this panel, with this drawer, is this panel is actually a hair bit too big, because I have... Man, this is why so few people do woodworking streams. I have an 1/8 of an inch on this side, and I have an 1/8 of an inch on this other side. It is a hair bit too long for this assembly. So, I have to make this shorter in this dimension. And you know what? It's technically not ideal to use the rip fence for this, but I'm lazy. And I'm gonna take off. So my dado stack is set for 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna take off. We need whatever the opposite of a board stretcher is. Don't worry, this is a board D stretcher. It takes your O2 big boards and makes them little boards. Measure once, cut twice. Yep. That's what we're talking about here, Mr. Spock. That is the type of enterprise we got going on here. And now, power tool noises. Okay, so I do things so you don't make mistakes. No, bad camera, bad camera. Oh, that's why. Oh, fine, I'll hold it. Don't let your tight bond hold up your cut. It's not good. Because I was feeding it through the saw, and as I was feeding it through the saw, I was like, wait, I'm having resistance. Why am I getting resistance? It's like, oh, tight bond. Damn tight bond. Not only holding my projects together, but also holding my projects up. So, we're gonna go back in and do a spray fit once more. Now that we're kind of thinner. Ooh. Oh, okay. We're just a hit. Bro, please be safe. Don't make me call safety. Oh, don't worry. You don't have to call safety. I'll just die. Who needs safety when you can just not have value for your well-being? Granted, I joke about that, okay? Because, well, I understand the biggest... No, it's too short. No, actually, that's fine. Funny enough. And here's your hint for why that's fine. Which I will show. Oh, did I bump the camera? Oh, it came back. So yeah, see, we're fine. Technically, I think it's a slight hair. Yeah, camera froze. There's an OSHA/OSHI joke here somewhere. But yeah, okay, so. Like, this is really good. Like, and that's what I really want right there. is I want a little bit of a lip right there. Right. Right here. A nice little bit of lip, because that will... My projects can give me lip, and honestly, I do put up with a fair amount of lip from you, and I just take it as an individual who grew up with a little sister. I'm just used to taking lip in my life, and honestly, I've just had to learn to deal with it. But as far as like the slightly like less than ideal topics from earlier, do you know how much alcohol I have in my alcohol reserves? If I get hurt, I'll have I won't be able to drink that alcohol. And then I'll be sad because I won't have alcohol in me. So I am very much happy with how this dry fit has went. And now I can actually worry about consuming my sweet, sweet delish. Remember, you have beer fermenting. Ha! I actually don't have beer fermenting right now, but you know what? I am sitting on like 8 gallon. Well, is it 8 gallons still? Or am I down to like 7.5? You know what? I'm gonna think about 8 gallons. I have 8 gallons of blackberry wine that need to be drank. Oh gosh. Oh no. Evidence of past failures. And I've got to do that. Simpsons do it here, but let's do it for beer. Yes. Only 8. Oh man, Mr. Spock, you got like... You got more? You got more than that? Oh man, you're just holding out on us. And honestly, for this one, I just feel like being squirrely. So I am literally going to be doing the lightest amounts of glue in my groove. Here you go. Here, piece of wood. Here, piece of wood. Come here. And get into your groove. Yep, come together. Yep. There you go. Good boy! Good boy! Oh, I love it when they behave with me. Normally, my projects give me more trouble than this. But that's also the benefit of the dry fit. The dry fit takes a lot of, issues out of, It makes your life a lot easier when you dry fit your projects together. Because then you're not, like, doing as you're not discovering as many, like, ooh, look, surprise, there's a problem. Which, my classic surprise, there's a problem, it's like, I woke up that morning. I woke up that morning and chose violence. Haha, flush. We like flush. Flush is good. So we got a little bit, got a couple dabs of glue in there. Okay, so I have a slight gap right in here. I'm gonna dry fit that other part to make sure it fits properly. Because I saw that gap and it's like, is this something I need to be paranoid about? So, dry fitting that top of that part. We're good. We're good. We're Gucci. The GoPro is currently acting like a college student on spring break. Put a wedge wood thing in it. Now the other side's good. That gap, I'm not gonna lose like any materials I put into this. So we're gonna be 100% good. So I'm gonna dab myself a little bit of wood glue here. And then, like the other one, I'm just gonna do a very light squeeze into this groove. Just so that way there's a little bit of extra holding in here. So, now the fun thing about these half laps is you not only have glue surface here, you also have glue surface here in this direction. So you got multiple areas to stick glue. That helps you. Then we slide that in. You gotta be squidding me. That's seated, right? That's seated. That's seated. Yeah, we can make that work. Okay, we can make that work. We got a hair bit. When the drawers are done, I think the first thing you should store is a 30-pound tungsten cube. Oi, don't be talking to me about things I want. Also, Mr. Podunk Games, have you looked at the price of tungsten recently? In which case you should not. By all means, don't. There's actually same, I have zero use for one, but I want it so bad. It would have been easier to find something on Facebook Marketplace. Oh no. So there's a guy on YouTube called Howie's Machine Shop. He does a whole lot of videos on machining. He's based out of Alaska. I was actually watching one of his shorts today, and he was talking about the price of tungsten. And he was like, well, he's like, man, prices are like sky high, and they're not going to come back down to like before these like price hike levels, but they'll eventually get lower again. So he said he bought some tungsten blanks, some tungsten rod for $15, like sometime last year, sometime in 2025, thinking, oh, it would be nice to have some tungsten lying around because you never know when you're going to need to have some tungsten. Well, he's thanking himself very much for making that decision right now, because he looked up the price of tungsten right now, and those $15 tungsten rods are going for $300. Yeah, tungsten has gotten stupid expensive over like the last year, because China used to export it to the US, but now they're not doing it anymore. Oh, my favorite clamp. And then... It's looking pretty, man. But yeah, tungsten's gotten stupid expensive. Like, hearing about how the price in tungsten has changed is like... Man, I am glad I am not in the market for tungsten. I'm glad I'm not a machine shop guy who could use some tungsten. Because it has gotten like absolute stupid expensive. I used to get used carbide machining bits at a Pratt & Whitney plant. I would get good money at the recycling place. They were coated in tungsten. Yeah. I actually remember you telling me about that, Mr. Spock. Okay, so we're just gonna do one last final Dry fit? Ooh, yeah, that's... Ooh. Ah. I'm sorry, but the GoPro doesn't show it so well. Don't have quite that field of view. But... Holy smokes! That was a really good dry fit, so... It's really nice to... I mean, like... Definitely going into the second drawer, doing some dry fitting, was definitely the strat to go. Definitely helped us out... Help things out quite a bit doing that dry fit. So we got a cornucopious amount of glue on one area. Swipe a little bit of that extra glue off on my piece of wood there. Come around here. And just splooge a whole bunch of glue all over the place. Then come over here with the finger. And let's see, how do I feel about that? Could probably use a bit more, but... Whoa! Please try to reconnect your camera. Maybe it was getting ripped off with tungsten. No, Mr. Spock. Tungsten has gotten, like, stupid expensive. Which, honestly, if I could find... Honestly, if I could find a tungsten cube for, like, standard market rates on, like, Facebook Marketplace... I'd make so much money, but I would also just want to keep it. Just because it's a tungsten cube, man. It's just cool. It's just guy brain thinking cool. Okay, so I need to get that screw. You know what? GoPro Coon's not working right now, so I can stick my face into my project as much as I want. This is actually... Oh, there we go. How do I feel? How do I feel about that? You probably don't like not having access, but... You can what? Hacking GoPro more like stop being a GoPro preferred when it was only one drawer. You can what? Oh wait. It just wait. Did it just turn off? Wait. Ooh, it's getting glitchy. It's getting ooh, glitchy. Spicy. But hey, the thing is, the picture quality with the GoPro has been so much better. Because my first webcam for like these Handcam streams was like literally just a basic web camera. It worked, but the picture quality was honestly like garbage compared to the GoPro. The GoPro was such an upgrade. It was such a wonderful upgrade. Especially considering the last webcam, the reason it had to get retired is, yeah, I literally cooked it. During a campfire cooking stream. Ah, look at that. Oh. No, my hair is covering up the squeeze out. Got a little bit of squeeze out there. How far can I push that drawer to the edge and not knock it off? Okay, cool. But yeah. So, we got one type of clamp. That reminds me, someone retired at work and they said they graduated. Oh no, you're too VTuber pilled. You know, I would have guessed you would have had a nice DSLR by the quality. GoPros really have come a long way. Yeah, like the GoPro was such an improvement over the standard webcam. Like, even though it acts up from time to time, it's just so much cleaner. Now, I did use a Sony Alpha camera. It was the 6000 one. But I had issues with it because I had to use a capture card with it. And I couldn't change the capture card settings in the capture card. I'm sure there was a way for me to do that, to get into it, but I would have had to spend quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to do that. I mean, it's always nicer to have slightly better cameras, especially for work like what I do. Okay, so I've got, that wants to flex. So I'm gonna really have to hand clamp that. Or actually I like that idea. So we're gonna kind of use the weight of the project pushing down on this wood. Since this piece down here wants to flex out, it can be a lot easier for me to push down on this drill. And then I can zip a screw in that will hold it. So, screw started. I'm going to press down. And with the power of Makita and the heart of the cards, this drawer's come together. That is one more drawer. Done. Ooh, wait. Square, 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 square. Like, I have personal protective equipment on my VTuber model. I'm as square as VTubers get. So it is technically a touch out of square, but you know what? Like, this came together a lot more. It came together better than the first one. The first one we had some issues with, but that was also just like the first one. This one came together really well. So, off to the side with you. So, I'm feeling oh man. Come on, GoPro. If you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. Because honestly, I was literally about to say. Ooh. Oh yeah, hey look, the wood's here now. Also, one of my fun things with wood glue is ta-da! I made a copy of my fingerprints. Granted, I don't think anyone would want a copy of a VTuber's fingerprints. So we're gonna kind of go in with this free glue jerky. Free glue jerky, VTuber flavor. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. Okay, so. Ah! No! No! Okay, we're fixing problem. We fix problem. We fix problem, and then we go to therapy. Because we don't want therapy to think we have too many problems. We just need therapy to focus in on the big one. Well, actually, we use one big problem to hide all the smaller ones. Oh, wait, we can call this the problem rug. With the problem rug, we can have one great big problem. Who keeps drinking on me beer? I know, right? How dare past me do this to the current me? I was planning on drinking that. Okay, so once again, we're gonna go in, we're gonna do a dry fit, and we're gonna see how well this panel fits in the frame we built. And then we'll dimension the panel down appropriately. Now, oh wow, that did not. I am exceedingly glad that technically these 1/4-inch grooves are just a hair bit too big. And by being a hair bit too big, they're perfect size for this. Otherwise, I would have problems. So, we have one corner. And then that corner is going to inform us of what's happening in our other areas. So, if I flip this around and go top side. Well, I'm sticking out a hair top side. I'm not sure if I like that. But I'm going to stick my piece in. Oh, wow. So, ideally, I do want to shorten it. How do I best show this to you guys? Whatcha? Oh, wait. So, pressed in on this side. On this side, got like an 1/8 of an inch gap. So, when it comes down to it, we're an 1/8 of an inch long in our wide side. Now I gotta check out the top. So, I'm gonna grab my final piece. Find its spot in the groove. And I think that's actually... Oh! Oh dear. Come on. Come on, project. Okay. So it looks like I might be just a hair bit too long this way. I'm excited because last time I watched your woodworking stream, I built something myself that week. My brain is in photocopy mode. Well, thank you for that. Like, funny enough, I actually started VTubing. I started VTubing for a few reasons, but... Ooh, okay. So, we might be a hair bit too big in this dimension, but I'm going to worry about the length of my width, because this isn't wanting to hold together. That's also the downside of slightly oversized grooves, is the wiggle room that brings the project easily together easily allows the project to fall out together. But yeah, yeah, I actually originally got into VTubing literally because I wanted to watch a woodworking VTuber. And gosh darn it, there weren't any woodworking VTubers. I gotta log off for the night after driving 3 hours today. I'm eepy. Well, Ari, you get your rest. You've more than deserved it. And I want to take a hair bit more than that. What I had. Oh wow! I didn't lock that down. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. You definitely have. You decided to be the change. Very. So funny enough about the be the change thing was I tried very hard to convince myself out of doing this because I'm like, like I don't even like I don't even really have like the best woodworking skills. I don't have the best technology skills. I don't have the best speaking skills. Like I am not like I don't have any particularly high level skill in any of these things. But my brain literally would not stop bouncing around the idea of me becoming a VTuber in my own head. So when it came down to it, I literally decided to become a VTuber just because, gosh darn it, I am tired of having this idea bouncing around in my head. And it just bouncing around in there. So I just decided to be like, okay, brain, shut the hell up. I'm gonna do the thing. Now I'm VTuber. And now I do a whole bunch of cooking too. Which was originally not part of the game plan. So right now, with the way everything is set up, it looks like I'm taking just a blade's width off, which I'm not. I want to make this shorter, but not by a whole lot. So I kind of like the idea of taking just a width of one of those blades off this piece of material. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. As long as you've enjoyed it, I've enjoyed the streams I've watched so far. I mean, that's basically what continues to move me forward. Now, there was a slight whoopsie there. Because this is 1/4 material. And we kind of see that gap right there. As I was feeding that through, my material actually slipped under that gap because I was putting a little bit of weight here. I wasn't putting all my weight because this surface is actually an 1/8 of an inch below where the table saw sits. So I'm gonna have to redo that, but with my push block fully resting on where the table saw sits. And with that, I was able to complete that cut. And that's kind of like the thing with like woodworking, is just like learning all the small little things, like dry fitting your pieces, measuring, maybe making your your pieces a hair bit too big, and then trimming them to fit. All darn things I've learned through VTubing of all enterprises. So this is now, so with my fingers, I'm a touch short in this direction and a touch short in the other direction. So I like being a touch short. A touch short is really good. So that seems pretty snug there. That seems pretty good there. Let's bring... Can you stay in there? Can you try to stay together? Can you stay together for me, please? Please and thank you. Ooh. Wowzers. Okay. So... technically, based off that dry fit, actually, I don't know. I think I may have made the panel a hair bit short, but like a 16th of an inch short, which is more than fine with the tolerances I'm playing with. So we've got one-sided dimensioned, and I'm happy with. Let's see if I can be happy in the other dimension. This is the real question. That's another thing with woodworking is like, especially drawers. Drawers are like 3D puzzles. Okay. So that is the ants. That's what I wanted to learn. And I want to check and make sure it's the same on both sides. Yep. Okay. Let's just go ahead and slip. I wanted to slip you in there. There we go. So we are. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. Originally, at one point, I thought it was a hair bit too big, but I'm not really seeing evidence of that at this point. Okay. You know what? We are in Send It territory. Ooh. What was my order of operations again? Start here. Start at one of your half laps, work from there. But yeah. Also, another thing about woodworking YouTube in general is there's really not a lot of people out there that are just guys in the garage. Like, regular guys in regular garages doing regular guy projects. Like, nothing fancy, nothing done with the fest tools, you know. Just regular weekend woodworkers, which I don't know if I can consider myself a weekend woodworker when it's not a weekend and I'm woodworking, but I mean, technically I'm off work. I was off work today, so I suppose if the shoe fits, where is it? Okay. Bring that in. And then we'll touch that together. Can I touch it together? Can we bring it together? And I used too much pressure. But I was also getting hung up on the blade of the table saw. Because originally I was envisioning there'd be issues, and the only issue here is me. But that's also another reason why I like putting these together. For doing stuff like this, one step at a time is always do it one step at a time. If you try to do all the steps at the same time, that's how you trip over your own 2 feet. But that is certainly not the worst issue in the world to have. Most of the ones chill with affordable tools are hand tool only, guys. Lots of big shop fest tool guys for sure. Yeah, like that's the sad thing about it is like a lot of woodworking YouTube is just like, hey, look at this really expensive tool that lets me do really nice things that lets me do real nice things really well. While also talking about all the experience I have in the craft and all this, and it's just like, well, that's cool, but and it's cool to see people who are good at what they do doing it, but Like, where's my regular guys at? You got to try the all-new mortgage payment. Oh, God. Yeah. That is certainly a thing with ToolTube. Is check out this new thing. Check out 50-year mortgage. Oh gosh. That's physical pain right there. Like, especially for me, because yeah, I'm gonna humble brag for a moment. I've got less than 10 years on my mortgage at this point in time. And I'm not interested in picking up any more years on my mortgage. So... okay, well, speaking of stupid stuff, that's a good place to be. Well, admittedly, I inherited my home. And when I inherited the home, I also refinanced the mortgage to put it in my name. And also, interest rates were cheaper then, so I made out like an absolute bandit. And really, that's actually one of the biggest driving factors for me being able to actually afford not only doing this as a hobby, but also streaming this hobby, is the fact that my cost of living is as cheap as it is. Because if my cost of living wasn't this cheap, it would be a lot harder to financially justify doing this. Still, don't look at a glue horse in the ball or whatever they say, right? Yeah. And we'll get a light bit of glue into that groove. There we go. So, we'll take this, put it up top. Because I like to think gravity helps me sometimes. Until I also realize that gravity is also the biggest force in keeping the fat man down. And so, there we go. So, it is looking very boxy and very much a shape. And I like boxy in shapes. Also, another fun thing about like woodworking and stuff, and kind of stuff like this, is like my dad's dad, my grandpa, he actually spent his retirement, well, let's just use air quotes retirement. He was an antique dealer in retirement. And a lot of his dealings dangerously close to having a drawer there. Yeah. But what he did in retirement was he's an antique dealer, primarily specializing in doing he was doing furniture restoration. That was like his like bread and butter as an antique dealer. And that's what he did. That's basically how he occupied his time in retirement. And the reason why I kind of used air quotes retirement is he actually worked he did a fair bit of work for what he was doing at his age. But I mean, he did that for a good 20 plus years. And he actually when he first started out doing that in retirement, he originally had a 40-foot by 60-foot pole barn. when he first started out, and then he actually added another 40 by 60 addition to it. So, okay, I'll assume that's just wind. Okay. So he kind of got to live like a whole lot of the dream of like not just doing the shop things, but also having big shop. Granted, he was really good at acquiring antiques and less good at getting rid of the antiques. Much to my grandma's disappointment. Okay. Actually, there we go. There we go. That's reasonable. And that's also kind of what I was fighting earlier when I was dry fitting it. It wasn't wanting to sit too properly, and I think that's because one of my edges wasn't straight. Big deal. It's not a big deal. It's like, you don't have to be amazing at woodworking to do it. Like, you just have to understand what keeps you safe, what's going to keep you from hurting yourself, and honestly, I would say it's also very important to remember to have fun with it, like, because especially when you're putting together drawers, which are wooden boxes that go into another box, it's very easy to get lost in the sauce, if you will, or get too caught up in it. And in those situations, it just comes down to being able to enjoy it. Stay safe, kids. Stop at 12.5 beers. Stop at 2.5 beer. Stop at that number of beers if you are predisposed to being inebriated. Nope, Mr. Spock's got it. Mr. Spock's got it. Moderation is key. So, let's bring our drawer in here. Looks like touch out square. A little bit of flexibility there. But overall, very box-shaped object. Told you he's a moderator. Oh no! Mr. Spock's setting off red flags. Back in the military days, 18 beers was a slow night. Woof. Well, honestly, that depends on the beer. I would say, like how strong is the ABV on that beer? So, just for funsies, let me take this and throw it into. Oh boy. Oh, 5%? 5% ain't too. Okay, well, a little bit of that's to be expected. So, I think what I've got going on here. So, what I just tried to do is I just tried to throw this into the drill press stand. Drill press stand did not like taking this. And I think there's a few, let's say a few reasons for that. One is it's a hair bit out of square. I have a lip here that comes up to nothing, and then that repeats. Well, it actually doesn't repeat on the same side of the board, but it does repeat on this corner opposite. It does, so it is repeating on this one. So this board is just a hair bit cantilevered like this towards the inside. So, funny enough, this is very, very, very close to fitting. Now, another fun fact, with the way I've done the screws and the glue and everything, this is very easy of a thing for me to take it and run it across the dado stack, shortening it. So, as far as actually dialing in the fit, that's probably the... I also have an electric hand planer. An electric hand planer would also be better at removing that amount of material. Like do one pass one side, one pass another side. So, there is more work to be done. This journey is not over yet. The drill press stand is not done, so next stream is going to be on 4th of July. I've somehow luckily managed to actually get the day fully off, which I'm one part thankful for, but also one part nervous for. So, and we're going to be doing American barbecue. Whoops, all vegetables. And essentially my game plan is to fire up the fire pit and grill the best damn American barbecue that can be had without meat. So that's the game plan for next time. So there's still some fine-tuning work. Okay, so that's actually the noise, a little bit of noise I was hearing. Those big mosquito-looking critters, they're technically a fly. Yeah, they're being attracted to the light of the garage, because I was talking earlier about the fireplace upgrade that isn't gonna happen. One of my... Oh! I touched it. I touched it. I touched it. I touched the thing. Is it gonna work? Oh, there it goes. Oh yeah. There's my garage door. There it is. And the webcam froze. GoPro Kun is very tired today. But yeah, that's my garage door. And it's very nice to be able to, like, see what's happening out in the driveway and such. And apparently the light in my garage is disrupting some insects. And they were just, because I was like hearing a noise out there, and I was like, wait, what? Do I need to worry about that? And I was like, no, it's just a bug. They made me the anchor of our beer chugging team. I was junking trying to get a beer cooler set up for the party. Ended up forgetting about it. Oh gosh, that's great. That's a great story. So, as far as this project's concerned, for next week, what I'm probably gonna try and do, because these are the drawers. Beer chugging team is just a fantastic concept. I have drawers. I still need to make some drawer faces out of the cedar, so I am planning a light woodworking stream for next week, and I think that might be one of the projects I tackle for next week. So, but yeah, drawers are built. That is, this project has moved step forward, and my hands are covered in wood glue. So I want to say thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in today. This has been a pretty good day. Like, I followed the instructions with material that I knew was thinner than what the plans called for, but knew I could adjust things accordingly, and I was able to do so. Now, the material still needs some more adjustments, but that's very easily done. So for now, I'm just gonna let the wood glue and all that fun stuff set up on this stuff, and I'll probably take some material off each side, kind of thin them down, and then they'll be able to slide in and out of the drill press stand pretty easily. So I'll see you all on the 4th, and may you all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and hopefully I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.